Stanley Kubrick brought a lot of films to cinema. But one film in particular is his most controversial, and some say caused his untimely death. The story of a doctor in a strained marriage who explores a sensual underworld away from his wife. Or is the film really about that? Some say the film is a Masonic, cultish, ritualistic exploration into elitism of the modern world. So today on Let's Talk About, we're discussing 1999's Eyes Wide Shut. This is probably your parents' first ever softcore porn they ever saw. I make that joke and I'm going to keep making it because it is absolutely true. I know
I don't know. My dad's too old for that one.
I know a lot of old people, a lot older people that have seen this film and they're like, "Oh God, such a dirty." That's basically a porno movie, and
It's
I'm
the
like,
film that made HBO's Real Sex TV show seem like hardcore porn.
It
Yeah.
is.
I
It is.
remember
It
that
is
show.
wild, the divide between, like, I think between like our generation and everybody else in terms of the amount of nudity you saw as a teen and child,
right?
because it's
Yeah.
like because before
Have you seen
that
Color of
you
Night?
had like you saw like
Jesus.
one or two at best. For us, we saw all of them. We saw it all, like it's all of them.
Yeah.
If it was like, how much porn did you like were you have access to as a child? I'm like, I had all of it.
All of it.
It was all there.
We had Eyes Wide Shut. We didn't
It's
need
like
it.
I
But we
Wide-
also did.
Like you go to Blockbuster, you rent Eyes Wide Shut. There you go.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't know what Eyes Wide Shut essentially is, it stars, of course, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Tom Cruise, who is a doctor. Give me just a moment, guys. Tom Cruise, who is a doctor, and his wife Alice, actually, after she admits to having sexual fantasies about a man she met, basically Tom Cruise gets obsessed with having sexual encounters of his own. So he goes out into the night like a rogue, and he discovers an underground sexual cult.
What is the password?
Orgy.
You may enter.
In which basically he kind of sees all the orgies and all the rituals within their mansion, and then he goes back out in society and sees all those people that he saw underground in their normal everyday settings, and he starts to be scared because he thinks pretty soon they're coming after him. Coincidence about this film? Yeah, maybe.
He may have been just a tad bit paranoid from that joint he smoked earlier.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
point, Donna.
Oh my
But, you
god,
know,
that's the funniest scene too.
that is great. I know, because he really
I
does
love
actually.
it.
He does make that expression too. He goes, I think we're just a little bit stoned here.
We're
because
just, I know.
Nicole Kidman just going off about. She's like, I wanted to rail that Navy man.
I'm not done. Bam! 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 And then she's all, oh yeah! Oh yeah! Bam! 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 You want to take it from here, Bam Bam? Bam! 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 You want to take it from here, Emerald? Bam! So that's what we're dealing with here. Any thoughts?
And I know what you're thinking. Our audience is like, I thought you guys said this movie's very controversial. We're not done.
Yeah.
Because that this is
It's
just
all
the
on surface stuff here from the
this
film.
is just all on the surface stuff, because basically the whole film itself is, and I think Steve said this perfect when we did this on our Tom Cruise special, that this film is so like held in notoriety because it has a scene that everyone thinks is this amazing, intricate orgy sex scene, and it's like maybe 5 minutes.
If that.
And then
That.
you have rituals, and and this is going to be again where we're going to get more in depth in this.
Masks.
We're going to get this into this our audience. You have rituals. People are like, there are rituals in this film. Yeah, 2-minute rituals, I guess. That's a ritual. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the controversies that surround this film. And I am going to dive into a little bit of the controversy as well, because some of it, I will say, has some merit. So the reason this film gets so much heat is because a lot of people believe that this film is a window into the world of the Illuminati. Oh shit, Rob's doing it, guys. Real
Oh,
sharp.
shit.
Oh God! And he's
Not
got the Hollywood sign behind him too. What?
Zoltan.
I know Zoltan.
Another movie that they're trying to suppress.
Sultan.
Dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my car?
Sultan.
So one of the hugest things about this is there's allegations of cut scenes from the finished film. Basically, they say Stanley Kubrick showed this film off, and that other high-ranking individuals, elite financial backers in Hollywood, saw the film and were like, Stanley, can't put that in there. And might I add, none of this is, there's no evidence for any of this, but it could be true.
There's always a possibility.
It's one of those where you're just like, well, listen, it seems extremely implausible, especially because Kubrick was like well into his 70s and 80s. It's like, yeah, he might have just died, especially because of the amount of stress he put on himself. It's kind of a miracle he lived to the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's there.
But
What
did
are
you
we
see
gonna-
all the Masonic symbols?
Yeah.
The leader sits on a throne that contains a two-headed eagle in the back of it.
In the
The two-headed eagle is the emblem, 33 degree of
But
the
the-
Scott, right?
but
Freemasons.
I guess
Luke.
the counter argument is, of course, that Kubrick had a lot of stuff that eventually just didn't happen. Like he started making projects and they went away. And of course, another thing is that there are movies that get made all the time and they get up to post-production and they just don't
Right.
release it. Like that happens all the time. They do and they can just write it off as a tax credit or whatever. They could have done that. They could have just as easily just been if they were oh, this is too sensitive, they could have just been nope, done.
But what about the depiction of the Rothschild party? The mansion apparently is a clear depiction of the Rothschild's party, Luke.
Oh yeah. That's
Because,
man.
a sex scene in a mansion obviously has to be the Rothschilds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to.
I mean,
These
I'm not.
rituals that are being done in this film, they have to be the full rituals in the whole entire 2-hour movie, right?
Yeah,
Even though
exactly.
rituals sometimes take hours.
It's
take
one of
hours.
those
It
things
takes
where it's
5
I
minutes.
can't, I won't deny that old money things are very entrenched and have a very uncomfortable hold on the way society works. But it's especially when you're just when you look at the amount of billionaires in America, especially ones that are white and Christian, and you're gonna focus wholly in on the one named Rothschild. You're gonna focus on the only New York Jewish family. Exactly. Yeah. It's it starts. I'm especially when people talk about Soros, it's okay. You have at least 200 billionaires to be mad at. It's weird that you're only mad at the 2 Jewish ones.
Right.
I'm not going to. I'm not gonna defend a billionaire, but it's it is weird that you've chosen, coincidentally, the 2 Jewish ones to be mad at.
Coincidence? Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at the actual facts of the movie of what actually happens, right? He's a doctor.
There's a mansion. There's a
He's
sex
a mansion.
scene.
There's a sex scene.
You can
that
put
lasts
whatever
for
you want in
5
there.
minutes. There's only humming, annoying humming. No dialogue. You just see him looking around, going "Oh, are people doing horrible missionary? Okay, I'm gonna move over to here where there's just touching." That's all that's happening here. There's nothing really
But it's
wrong.
not just that. It's this film itself is about him hiding things, when the girl overdoses.
Right.
It's about
Yeah.
him hiding things
Yeah.
for the financial
know,
billionaires. And
there
there's
was
this whole Epstein idea of allegations, connections in
There
this
was
film. That's
there
what
was a-
people are getting at.
There was a really interesting, and I'll need to look it up and we'll post, and I'll link it to you later. When we post this whole episode. It was talking about the anxiety of the upper middle class, which is what Tom Cruise's character is.
Right.
It's these characters are extremely well off. They're making hundreds of thousands, maybe up to $1 million a year. But a couple of things is that, like, first off, they live in expensive areas in the country, and they have to live because they are within the proximity of supreme wealth. That's their job. They are essentially, even though they are very wealthy, their job is the servants of the super rich, and so they have to live in these expensive areas.
The elite.
And so the anxiety is that they have all of this money, but they also have to spend all of the money to stay in that periphery. Obviously, it's like once you like any one of us, if we got $100,000 right now, we would just buy whatever we need and just fucking be chill. We wouldn't
Well,
have
I
to fucking
think you guys know exactly what I'd be doing. I definitely would be doing what Tom Cruise would be doing, going to sex cults and dressing
Sex
up,
cults,
and
yeah.
I'd be having
It's
orgies in my
it's the
mansion.
kind of thing is that like the upper
I prove this real.
Tom Cruise represents the silver medal of society, if that makes so. It's like there's the gold medal, which is all the super billionaires, and the silver medal are them. So they're like there, but they're not fully there.
They're not
and then, of
there
course,
yet,
the
but-
copper people are the people
not
that are
one of
well
them.
off, but are fine. And the rest of us, we got our own fucking shit. But
Yeah.
it's like
Participation.
there's that sense that like, so there was supposedly a survey about like, once you hit contentment is once you hit a certain amount of like money to stay safe, but once you go higher than that, the anxiety kicks in because then you are in a different threshold of, which is what Tom Cruise is.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Like, I'm
know
in
what
a
I
world
think?
that I don't know.
I think
He is
the
a-
movie is about a dude who basically heard about his woman saying that she wanted to bang another guy, so that gave him a fucking hall pass to go out
Yeah.
there and get some booty. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go try some crazy stuff because let's be honest, this is what dudes would do. Come
Yeah.
on, if you had a lot of
No,
money,
I
you found out that your
honestly, I
wife
think
was
this
gonna mess
really is
around, you'd be like,
about
I'm gonna
more
go
about
around.
Kubrick. I feel like this is more about Kubrick himself. I don't know his full status as a, how rich or famous, because he only had a few amount of films in his huge amount of time as a filmmaker. Like, I feel like he had always been like, he was there in the Hollywood establishment, but always just on the outside. Like, he had always been, and that was his nature. Like,
With that
he
note, do you think they
existed.
would let him into the society so he could tell everybody?
No.
Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I if anything, my theory is that he made it up and he got it too close, so that's what happened. Like he
fucking killed him.
He went off the dome, but because people in Hollywood are so uncreative, that was exactly what was going on. He's like,
They
I bet
pulled a
those idiots
Shakur on him,
I bet
Steve.
those idiots have weird
They
sex.
shot him
cults
like
and masks."
Tupac.
Oh,
And he's like, and they're all like, how the fuck did he figure that out? Because he was never invited.
And see, I'm going to entertain this for a moment, for just a split moment here. And this is
Sure.
going to be Rob entertaining the conspiracy side of a film like this, because I have done some research in this. And there was actually a film I came across recently called My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys. And this is actually a story about Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. These guys are the dudes that were in The Goonies, The Lost Boys. I mean, they were in quite a few movies together, but not
The
just
two
that. They
Coreys.
talk about and unfortunately, and there is actually an actor who made a point on this film too that I do actually believe, which was Elijah Wood, being such a young actor all through Hollywood. He said that there is a society in Hollywood that does take advantage of young men like this. Luckily for him, he always had his parents there to make sure he never fell into that. But unfortunately for these two guys, there were some things that happened. They were apparently like molested quite a bit by some producers and directors, and including one of the biggest allegation was against Charlie Sheen, which Charlie Sheen supposedly raped Corey Haim. And so there is this notation that I can understand why people think Eyes Wide Shut is some kind of like huge conspiracy film, and they even get that off the title too. Why is it called Eyes Wide Shut? Because you can't see what's directly in front of you.
I mean, you see that in the ending, right? Didn't you see
Right.
that? The ending
ending-
with the daughter scene
But the
So
ending is so like, let's fuck. That's the ending, Steve.
Yeah.
that's that ending. But the true ending was the scene with the father, the immigrant father and his daughter. Remember, he was like,
Yeah.
I need a mask or whatever, and then he was very like abrasive to Tom Cruise. And then when he found out that Tom Cruise went to this party and he was messing with these upper echelon, then he kind of like offers his underage daughter to Tom Cruise as a way to get in, because just like Luke was saying of this tier system, even the lowest of the low tier, right, knows what the high tier is about, and they're willing to do what they can to get into it. Same thing with Tom Cruise.
I don't know
He
these
did
tiers.
everything. You know what I mean? Well, there are people that did.
Where's the flyers for this club, guys?
I know, right? I know. It's like, where's the party? But you'd never
Donna,
know.
have you
And
received your flyer about to give your daughter up to the elites to get into the higher echelons of society? Like some kind of fucking goddamn Hunger Games.
then
No, I have not. But if I ever do, I'll go all John Wick on their ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get real quick. I'm sorry, guys, and Steve, sorry to cut you off here. I do want to hear the female's point here, though, on such a sexually energized film. I mean, let's just be honest. This is all how women are, right? Okay. End of story. Let's go ahead. Steve, continue your point.
Okay. Right. No. Like, I was gonna message you because I watched it tonight before this, and it got me thinking because you had sent me something earlier about my sex is like crazy, and then I watched this movie, and you're right. Like, I know we are crazy, but for her to sit there and be questioning him, like, oh, what if this happens, or and this happens? Oh, what if this happens and this happens? And then she tells him that she's fantasized about the colonel or the captain or whatever, so it's
Navy
okay.
boy.
The Navy boy. But then it turns around and gives you guys the okay to go cheat, even though she's just saying, hey, I've had a fantasy. Instead of maybe going and trying to cheat, maybe you talk about doing a swingers club or something.
That's
Maybe
my
this.
See, that's the solution is talk about it, then do a swinger thing. See,
You do have to remember this was the 90s,
Yeah.
and the notion of communication with another
It's
person
non-existent.
was
right?
no.
Non-existent.
Open
Wait.
just
It
the,
is
like
still that way today. My first marriage was
Uh-huh.
exactly like that. It's the first marriage. Second one, me and him are completely open and honest. There are times where he says I hurt his feelings. Sorry, not sorry.
Eyes wide shut.
is that? Are you confirming something that we shouldn't?
We're gonna keep doing that all show. Luke is the only one that hasn't done it. See, this is his eyes wide shut moment. He's like, "What are they doing, guys?"
Right.
what is-
Are you kidding me? Luke's not doing it because Luke's the guy in the red. You know what I mean? Who's like slamming his scepter down to make the women do it.
I would. You never know. Gosh, I'm already bad at sex. I don't know if I could do it any. I don't.
Jesus.
If I had to have a crowd, I would crumble.
Even if
It's
you were in a
just like,
cloak and a cape.
huh?
Yeah, like no one's gonna know it's
Did
you.
you see
That's
this?
true.
I mean,
That's
Luke,
true.
come
That's-
on, bro. Like, did you see that they
Get
were
all
gonna
shy
text
guy
you
on us?
That's
about
true.
it?
That's
was
very
horrible.
true. Yeah. Maybe that way.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what?
saying.
I
We're this
really,
fast the whole
I
time.
want to see. I want to see this movie, but with working class people. I want like the.
wait. If that's the case, that's usually any local college you want to go to.
That was
Exactly.
actually
No,
an
but like
Always
I want
Sunny
like
episode.
a guy. I want like a guy who's like maybe he's a mall security guy, and and then like he sees like the Chipotle person from the orgy. He sees he sees the sunglass. No, the sunglasses head doesn't exist. He sees the American Eagle. He sees the bunch locked. He sees the Funko Pop register
mailman.
for
He's like-
people, and
It's like that girl
exactly.
from Hot Topic is there. You see the guy working the cell phone kiosk. He's the
Exactly,
the
yeah.
He's
leader.
like me and you.
Literally
the other
every
night, right?
person who works a cell phone kiosk has tried to get into an orgy. That's that.
Okay, so I want to know if you guys caught this. For the whole movie, the 90s was very, very hush hush on this anyway. They
Right.
didn't bring it out. They didn't see much.
Yeah.
But did you guys notice the two males dancing and one male was completely naked?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that might have been the first time that, I don't know, and I could be wrong, that they've actually kind of just slowly put that little scene in there. Not long enough for everyone to notice because they're more worried about what the hell was going on with Tom Cruise. But that little spot right there, just a little egg. Here you go.
Of two guys, one guy dancing
guys
naked, and
dancing.
the other one.
Yeah, just there.
I gotta say,
Yeah, because
like, the thing about Tom Cruise is that I remember in the '90s, the whole thing was all about the secrets that like he was gay. Like that was the big.
That was a huge.
He's in
And
the
it's funny
closet.
because it's like I think like if Tom Cruise is gay, he should just be gay. Like I'd be down with a gay Tom Cruise. I would be down with a gay Maverick. I'm more unsettled by Tom Cruise being a Scientologist. It's like
I'm more unsettled. He would be that
You
way
know-
and have a hot wife like Nicole Kidman, man. Sorry, Nicole.
I
Call
Fuck you guys, call me.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just like
Wasn't he caught like wearing he was like he was wearing lips in this movie and many other movies.
no, he's shooting
lips.
lifts because
He was
Oh,
Oh, because he's
Tom,
so
Cruise,
short.
Tom Cruise is short. Tom
he's
Cruise
short.
is
So, but in this movie,
right.
he's like right on
right.
with
Yeah.
like Nicole Kidman. I'm like, he should be looking.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Nicole Kidman's way taller than him. Yeah.
Yeah. and
yeah.
it's weird.
No, and again, like, well, actually, it's a matter of public record that Tom Cruise has like contracts with his wives.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, who wouldn't? I mean, geez, that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
doing now.
no, they have
That signs a contract
NDAs for
with me
X
doing
amount
this.
of years, and then they get a payout. So it's like we know for a fact that Tom Cruise, like, he will hire literally, like, as far as we know, it looks like Tom Cruise literally hires women to be his wife for X amount of years, and if they stick to the script, they get like a fucking massive cash payout.
Eyes Wide Shut.
I'll do it.
Mimi Rogers. I remember
Maybe
that.
that's the movie, dude. Eyes Wide Shut. That Tom Cruise is actually really.
Maybe that honestly, it could make sense that that Kubrick was like, "Hey Tom,
Let's get this out."
You know what this was? This was Kubrick doing the
Coming to
Alex
his house.
torture on Tom Cruise because one thing that's often talked about is that like Kubrick did like hundreds of takes, 200, and it would be like the same thing over and over again. Some people think he did that so that they would become super bored and like desensitized and weird, and then he would use the footage of them being like completely dead inside to make the movie. But like again, you never know. Maybe he might have been perfectionist. It's like, and it's like if it wasn't Tom Cruise, it would have destroyed his career because Tom Cruise was in the consideration for The Matrix. Tom Cruise turned down The Matrix for this.
Yeah. And I'm so happy he did.
99 was
true.
a weird
Yeah.
year,
I think Keanu was better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you had Will Smith, who also turned down The Matrix to do
Superman too.
Wild Wild West in
That's
99.
its own conversation
Yeah.
about what happened if a major celebrity was in The Matrix, because I do believe they would have fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, well, that's
without-
another conversation for another day. Hold on, let's
We
go ahead
should-
and wrap this up real
we
quick
really
because I want to.
we've done Matrix, but let's keep talking about The Matrix because I love talking about The Matrix.
I know. Hold on. Let's just wrap this up real quick. So overall, what do we give this film as an overall score? I honestly give Eyes Wide Shut. I think I gave it maybe a 6 last time on our Tom Cruise. That's why I'm going to leave this movie. I think it's just okay.
Then go up.
I think it's just okay.
Okay.
What do you?
I think I'm gonna give it a 6, dude. I don't think that anything is better than. I mean, a 10. That's a 10.
Luke, what do you give Eyes Wide Shut?
I was gonna say a 5. I'm also just gonna say like it's not worth watching. But just like you guys like don't. Yeah.
Watch the scene, get it over with.
It's not. I mean, like watch the stuff. It's there's nothing to really draw other than conspiracy theories. But the thing is, you know what? Just watch SpongeBob SquarePants and find your own conspiracy theories. It will make you happier if you find conspiracy theories there.
Donna, what do you think of what do you give Eyes Wide Shut as a whole?
7 out of 10.
Really? Wow, that's the highest score any of us.
Hey.
I know.
It's sexy, huh? Because when they mix the sex and the violence,
it has nothing to do with that. I kind of like the fact that Tom Cruise went a little bit paranoid.
Okay.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's
But-
going to be. Go ahead.
But the ending, not the ending. I want to know what happened to Nick, the piano guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
Nick,
good
yeah.
point. The piano guy, I
Yeah.
think he was
They
murdered.
They
But that
never
has been
truly
this
said.
episode of Let's Talk About. It's your host,
Yeah.
Rob, with his crew, Steve, Donna, and Luke. And we'll catch you guys later on the flip side from this very special episode. Have a
Man,
great
Luke
night,
is just
everybody.
lacking tonight.
Huh?
All right. So
Yeah,
round table real
I've
quick.
been drinking, so
Round table. I know.